Guys, welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm your host, May.
And I'm Laura, and we have a hodgepodge episode today, but mine is going to be mostly one crazy story.
Okay.
I'm talking about how Boeing killed a guy.
Like, most definitely.
Like killed a guy. I don't know. The Boeing Whistleblower, if you don't know this story, fucking strap in. We're going to be talking a little bit also about the other incidents that have been plaguing Boeing. I'm sure everything is all related, but we'll be reviewing them. And then I'm going to do another tiny little story because that's like 10 pages of notes. So that one will be long.
Wow.
Yeah,
shit. Okay.
Yeah, strap up.
So this is like low-key a long episode. Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? I kind of got excited about the whole thing. But then I'm also going to talk about another lady who had a really bad boss. And we can decide whose boss was worse.
Okay, that's
Boeing
fun.
or this lady's.
Speaking of bosses, I'm going to be talking about Don Lemon and how he got fired in record time from his deal with X by Elon Musk following a rather spicy interaction the two of them had. And I'm also going to talk about how climate change protesters interrupted a Broadway show. Annoying.
Must have been wicked. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, enjoy.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold
from
on.
that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's risque business news.
I know I do have a lot on this Boeing thing. It's kind of crazy.
It's wild. It's
Yeah.
Speaking of Boeing, I was telling Laura off air that I am taking a Spirit Airlines flight on Wednesday, middle of the workday. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
You're definitely not going to have Wi-Fi.
Well,
tell you
that's
that.
what I was going to say. I was like, should I just call in sick or maybe, I don't know, use a vacation
How
day?
is it far? Oh, yeah, you're going to...
I'm going to Houston.
Yeah, it's far.
I'm going to be on this fucking Spirit Airlines thing for like 5 hours.
Yeah, you're going to be on it for a while.
I got to bring a salad.
You better bring a satellite Wi-Fi receiver or something. You bring a salad. You can even do more than that.
I mean, it's 5 hours, right?
It's like 4. It's long enough.
It's long enough.
It's definitely long
I'm
enough.
so
Yeah, you
fucked.
Yeah, you are definitely fucked.
And I might not make it there because the plane is going to disintegrate.
Probably. It's probably like the overstock of Boeing. Like I
Yeah.
can't imagine Spirit is competing at the front lines for like the good planes, you know?
Right.
It's not like it's like produce at the store where you have to kind of like look around and be like, which one of these is a good plane? Does this one have all its bolts? They don't. None of them have all their bolts.
They just duct tape
Yeah.
a wing on.
Exactly. You got to go do your own physical inspection of the plane before you take off. So budget an hour for that.
I'm kind of legitimately afraid.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are right now.
Yeah.
Boeing's stock is down like 28%.
That's
Honestly,
it.
it might
I would
be a
imagine.
buy.
Yeah, but I would imagine to be lower, to be honest.
Maybe by now it's already going down further. Who knows? But like, it's pretty amazing that you can kill a guy and only 28%. It's pretty remarkable. People are like, still a decent product. There's not much competition.
Yeah, so tell the viewers about the whistleblower who was whacked.
I guess should I just go straight into my story, like just right out the gate here, or
Please.
like, do we want to talk about anything else?
I got nothing to say. I'm hungover. That's it. We went to Soho House yesterday and drank 11 drinks.
We can promote Soho House. Actually, no, Soho House is on Pip still.
It's on Pip.
I'm still throwing it on.
Wait,
Pip.
why are we promoting Soho House?
Well, just because it like promo versus Pip.
Oh, promo
I
versus
enjoyed
Pip.
myself, so I can here. It's on promo and Pip at the same time.
I think for me it's promoted because I haven't been in so long. But
I had a grand time.
I had a good time. Yeah, I had a great time.
And that's
So-
why it's promoted, but also at the same time, concurrently is on Pip.
Yes.
Because the staff openly hates everybody there, which is fair. I get it, but it's like it's a weird. You're like, I
Yeah.
do want another drink.
Yeah.
I can go make it if you want.
Man, we had so many drinks. We had so many
was
drinks.
fun.
It was fun. We had a,
It was
you know,
St.
it was
Patrick's
worth it.
Day, so like, God fucking forbid.
Yeah, God forbid I get a little turnt on St. Patrick's
God
Day.
forbid
okay?
this German Russian lady celebrate the Irish heritage.
Yeah, what's the big deal? Okay.
You're Irish.
I'm Irish.
Oh, that's what we were celebrating for.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what we went into.
Did I tell you? I think I told you that Mark says that I have Barry Cogan eyes. You know,
What does that
You
mean?
know Barry Cogan? He's got these like Irish eyes that like because I have this puff over my eyelid, and Barry Cogan has like a wicked big puff over his eyelid. Here.
Mark Rude?
Yeah. He's like, I hope our kids don't have these weird
that
Barry
guy.
Kogan eyes that you
That's so fucking funny. I love your Barry Kogan eyes. How
But he
dare
was
he?
like, your eyes do like disappear into this big puff that's
you have
over
you have the
hooded eyes.
the hooded eyes, I guess it is. But I think that's
Yeah.
like a good thing, right?
I
I mean,
don't
it's
know.
a thing. I think it's one of those. Maybe it's a neutral.
Yeah, I think it's gonna make me look older faster because they like droop
Yeah,
over my eyes.
Aren't people getting that that part removed now?
They should be. I will be doing
I think
that.
I've seen that online. I think a lot of celebrities are doing like I don't know. I couldn't even tell you the term for what that part of your body
Yeah,
is.
I don't know.
Upper
eyelid. But then if Barry Kogan didn't have his
labia.
Barry Kogan eyes, he wouldn't look. He wouldn't
look like Barry Kogan.
just
He's
look like
doing
Barry.
fine.
He's doing great.
Doing really well. Okay.
Yeesh.
So it's on PIP and it's also promoted. So we've covered that. Let's get into Boeing. First of all, I want to say, just out the gate, I'm going to be saying a lot of scary things about planes. There are over 10,000 flights a day. Flying is still unbelievably safe compared to, say, driving a car
Yes.
or riding a bike or living in New York City.
or walking down the damn street.
So like all of this is scary, etc. But like it's like realistically pretty fine. But Boeing, financially maybe not, and also morally ? Probably not very good either. All of this kind of started back in 2018. Boeing has been working quite a lot to compete against Airbus. We actually did an episode about this a while back,
Yeah,
if you recall.
Right, but there was like bad stuff going on with Boeing for years
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so this isn't like a new thing. And frankly, I think a lot of this is a continuation of the stuff that we discussed in this last episode, which I will go try to find and link. I'm sure we're going to look like shit.
Oh, for sure. We're just like
Do not
fatter somehow.
Comment. No, everyone's like, actually, you look worse now.
Yeah. But you guys have aged 2 years, so yeah.
Okay. So anyway, fuck you in advance. And Boeing 737 Maxes were grounded from 2018 to 2020 because in late 2018 and early 2019, they were killing people.
Yeah.
Like, that was what they were doing.
Yep.
Lion Air Flight 610 in late 2018 killed 189 people when it crashed. I know. And then the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 in early 2019 killed 346 people. So it was
That's
like,
a big fucking plane.
first and foremost,
Yeah.
it's oversold. Second of all,
damn, dude, that's crazy.
like, so it's like really obviously insane, like really bad. And these kinds of crashes are pretty rare. That's why they
made the news.
put an entire line of airplanes on the ground while they figured this out. If you recall from back then, they were working on this like MCAS runway stabilizer, and essentially there was a whistleblower on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think it might. I don't know if it's the same guy. Oh, I should look that up. Oh well. But point being, like, they got in trouble because they had been like pushing this update into their software that was just fucked up, and they did a bad job, and it kept like pushing the nose of the plane down.
Yeah.
When it was taking off, which is crazy.
It's so scary. Oh my god.
What were you gonna say?
I remember seeing visuals of this because there was I think a Netflix documentary about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, there was a lot of discussion about it. Then the pandemic happened, so everyone kind of forgot about planes for a while. And obviously, actually, a lot of these groups got a lot of money from the government to like stabilize them through.
That makes sense. Yeah.
2020, and no one was flying for a little while there,
Mm-hmm.
except for me. I was going everywhere. I'm just kidding. Okay, so cut to today. The 737 Maxes, you've probably been on one of them. They're out there. They're a pretty popular plane now. And on January 5th, the first incident of this like latest slew occurred where the Alaska Airlines flight 1282 lost a door plug.
Oh my god.
Where the entire door flew off of the plane in flight. You probably remember seeing some of these pictures, and people were just like shit was just streaming out the window.
Yeah.
Apparently, a child seated near the door had his shirt pulled off over his head, and the mom was like holding on to the kid.
Oh my god.
It's like crazy.
Oh my god. It makes me want to puke.
I know. I can't even
So
imagine. Personal belongings got pulled out. They, of course, were like a teddy bear got pulled out, 2 cell phones, a seat headrest.
Cell phones suck. I'd be like, are you fucking serious?
Scram. Yeah. Also, that's so just annoying. You're like, I can't even take the pictures.
Yeah, right.
How am I going to tell people I was here?
Also, like, I don't know. What if those hit somebody on the way down? That person would be dead.
For sure. Yeah. Well, actually, nobody died in this one, which was kind of interesting. It's amazing that you can lose a full ass door. That feels like a emergency, big emergency, but comparatively, no one died. So that was good. But needless, it was not the end of their issues. It was a very big splashy one, though, just because of the nature of like how dramatic it was. Like everybody was freaking out. Afterwards, they go through a lot of inspections. On January 9th, and this was kind of bad. This is more boring, but was also bad, like for Boeing. Alaska and United Airlines reported loose hardware during inspections of the aircraft in a similar area as the door plugs. And what that means is it kind of was like a manufacturer's error versus potentially like United Airlines just, being the fucking worst, as always. After that, January 16, 4 passengers from that flight announced that they were going to be suing Boeing and Alaska Airlines, citing that they felt their death was imminent, which is actually pretty fair.
Yeah.
But they're suing for $1 billion.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of money.
That's crazy.
Also makes me wonder, I'm like, well, what happened over here to Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302? Was there a lawsuit on that one? I'm assuming.
I mean, I would think so.
A lot of people died. Their death was imminent. Their death
happened.
Imminented.
Yeah.
It occurred.
It occurred.
Okay.
Damn.
So now there's a big ass lawsuit. It's January 16th. They are already looking at $1 billion, just being like, God damn it. I'm sure it won't. Maybe it won't be. Who knows? They'll probably get some amount of money because the flight did, in fact, have a plane door fall off.
That's terrifying.
So that's like in the works. Those obviously take multiple years. So kind of put that to the side for a second. They kept going. February 6th, United 737 MAX 8. So a different kind of, I think a slightly different kind of plane. Either way, they had stuck rubber pedals. Like they're one of the flights from the Bahamas to Jersey. The pilot reported that the pedals were getting stuck, like when they were pushing them down.
Oh.
Which is terrifying.
Yeah.
March 7th, there was an engine fire on the United flight in Houston. I have a little video of this one.
Oh my God.
Look at this shit.
I remember there was just this bright flashing light that came through the window and it sounded like a bomb went off. And then it was just a strobe of fire out the window.
Video shows flames shooting from the engine of a United Airlines
I'd shit
flight
myself so fast.
Yeah.
Like massive diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
That was a guy who was actually on the flight, so he immediately does the rounds. It was pretty flashy, the entire thing. No one really... this one was not even really like widely publicized because the same day, this plane lost a wheel.
Oh my God.
On what is going on?
So how do you even land that if one of your wheels is gone?
They have a bunch of wheels. So that is like one of the benefits, of course, of like the design. Okay. So let me show you here.
Osaka, Japan, one of the aircraft's 6 tires fell off during
off it goes.
Boeing 777 was then diverted to LAX where it safely landed just before 1:30 this afternoon.
Jesus.
So this plane was supposed to go all the way to Japan. A fucking wheel fell off of it.
Oh my God.
And they were like, okay, we should go get I guess we need to go get a wheel.
Wow.
We got to go pick up a wheel in LA. Hold on one second.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that crazy on the same day?
No, that's insane.
So everyone's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, apparently also when that wheel fell off, you were talking about it hitting something. The car of one unlucky driver was significantly damaged when the tire crashed upon it, severely denting the left side of the vehicle.
Oh my God, that person could have died.
Yeah, fortunately, no one was in the car at the time. But you're 100% right. Had they been in the car or driving.
Yeah. Holy shit. That's insane.
How do you report that to Geico?
Right, like there's literally a tire that fell out of the sky.
Yeah, from the sky. It was a plane tire. Here's the news link. I don't know, just to prove it.
Reminds me of like that Breaking Bad episode where there's a plane crash and like all the shit's all over their lawn or whatever.
Exactly. That's what United was trying to do. They were just big fans of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So in these examples, there was a guy who said he was interviewed on Fox News Live, so you know he's legit. He said, that's not really a Boeing problem. Those are all old airplanes. Tires get changed. Maintenance people, mechanics at United change the tires. Something went amiss.
So there's a lot of pointing of fingers going on.
Yeah, 100%. They would say, I would say on a recent tire change or some repair, that's not really a Boeing problem. Love how all of that was mostly United. And then Alaska, which isn't Alaska like merging
I think
with
it is
someone?
I think Alaska is the same as United. No? Maybe I'm wrong.
Alaska. They were doing a merger. Because I think Alaska was like, wow, not enough people are flying to fucking Alaska.
Yeah.
With Hawaiian holding. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Great. That'll be useful. Hawaii or Alaska. Nice destinations.
Yeah, that's fun.
Anyway, so United Airlines, they are also not exactly doing great in this entire situation. It did remind me of back in the day where they beat the shit out of that guy.
Oh my God.
Who was flying to, I don't know where, that like Asian man. I feel like I pulled this up.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
there
did.
he
There it is. Dude. They are beating this man up.
United Airlines was just like, I don't give a shit. We're not going to have a wheel. You're not going to have teeth by the end of this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why you keep complaining to us. Have we not been clear as to what we're going to be doing?
That's so insane.
We said we'd get you there, not if you'd be alive. Okay? Read the fine print.
What was he doing before that?
I don't know. There's just no reason for like.
Yeah, obviously there's no reason for it, but I'm just wondering.
Oh, no, they selected him to be kicked off and he didn't want to get off because they had
Oh.
overbooked the flight.
Oh my God.
And so he was like resisting getting kicked off because he was like, no.
Yeah.
And they decided to forcibly remove him.
Damn, that would suck so much if they're like, you are the passenger that we have just deemed has to get off.
Also, he was a doctor and had to be at the hospital the next morning. It was not a good choice by
No, it's
United.
not a good choice.
They chose violence, and they should not have.
Wow.
United Airlines always chooses violence.
Always.
Every single time they're opting into that.
Jesus Christ almighty.
It's not funny. It's a little funny. I shouldn't be laughing at this like poor doctor getting his ass kicked, but it's a little funny. Okay, so then it carries on. Don't worry. March 11th, 50 passengers were injured after a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner dropped suddenly in midair.
What?
So you know, like when there's like those big turbulence jumps?
Yeah.
Apparently in this case, there was some like technical error that caused the strong movement on a flight from Sydney to Auckland, New Zealand. And 50 passengers were injured.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy
So that must have been a
shit.
hell of a jump.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in one though? Like when
Yeah,
they, like,
yeah, where they're like, boom.
it kind of scares the shit out. Every
Of
time I'm always like,
course.
oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. And like some wind patterns and stuff, I guess you can't really avoid
Sometimes
it.
it's
but, like,
yeah, in like turbulence, like, but that's why they
Yeah.
do the seatbelts and stuff. If it happened
Right.
suddenly and people were just like milling about,
Oh my God.
you could
yeah.
totally hurt yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
That one's obviously not as big of a deal, but it's not great, and especially because it was caused by a system failure. That's really bad. March 11th, they failed 33 of 89 audits during FAA inspections. So what is that, a 60, 65? No, it's a little less than that.
It's not good. It's an F.
That is an F. They
Or
failed.
at least a D minus.
Yeah, what would that come out to? I don't know. I can't do math. But point being, the audits were meant to be passed because that's important for the government to give you clearance. And they said they did a bad job.
Also for like people not to die.
For people not to die, for you to be able to fly a plane. A lot of issues. It was also not just Boeing, but one of their key suppliers, Spirit Aerosystems.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think that's related to Spirit Airlines, but I
Oh.
like how they're both like in it together.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I like how they both were like, we're going to be shitty.
We're gonna be horrible.
Spirit is not a good name for a company, no matter your industry. They had apparently the Spirit staff had been using Dawn soap as a lubricant on the doors and a hotel room key card to check door seals.
What is going on here?
It's funny because it's like one of those things where I can understand like it probably works.
Yeah.
But like you work for such a this isn't just like your old Toyota in your fucking friend's yard that you're fixing up. Like this is a plane.
with pedestrians on, like regular people.
Like all of the tape, all of the red tape is around
Yes.
this. Like buy the brand name. Don't go for Dawn. It's fine. Like spend the $4 additional.
Well, I think Dawn is the brand name, is it not? You wouldn't
is.
go like CVS
It
brand.
is what if it was? This is our
Stop and Shop brand.
Stop and Shop brand dish soap that we're using to lubricate your door seals. I guess I do appreciate that it was actually Dawn.
Yeah.
The hotel room key card though, that was a La Quinta.
That was a La Quinta.
No,
that was a Red Roof Inn.
That was not a Marriott. Definitely not. Red Roof Inn.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, more. March 13th, another United Airlines flight had a fuel leak en route from Sydney to San Francisco and was forced to turn back.
Oh my God. These ones of these airlines over the ocean are freaking
It's a lot
me
of
out.
long distance planes. It's not like Houston to Dallas.
Right.
Those planes are fine. They just fling them. They're not even engines. Yeah. It's just like a catapult, and you're close
It's like
enough.
they catch a nice gust of wind.
Yeah,
when they're over
exactly.
there.
Just kind of like ride it down. March 15th, a Boeing plane arrived in Oregon with a missing external panel. You know, like the plane, like part of the
Holy
plane
shit.
fell off as they were flying.
Did they know that they must get some alert?
I mean, they must get some sort of alert.
Wow.
Apparently, it shut down the airport. It was a small plane. This one was San Francisco to Medford, Oregon. And they looked for the panel for a while.
Just like in the forest somewhere?
They just couldn't find it.
Wow. That's crazy.
They're just crawling around looking for this panel. Okay, so what does this all have to do with the guy who got killed by Boeing? Allegedly.
No, he
Don't
did.
kill me, Boeing. I don't work for you, but you could probably find me if you needed to. I'm posting my show dates. They're gonna show up. They're gonna show up at my next gig, just being like, "Listen, you're talking shit, and you're not very funny. So let's go."
Follow her at Laura Sogar on all platforms.
Well, Mr. John Barnett would not find this so funny. This is John Barnett. He is the former quality manager at Boeing who became a prominent whistleblower in 2019, related, I believe, to the other system. He has perished. He was slated to continue. He was literally in the middle of testifying against Boeing. It was literally staying at a Holiday Inn near the courthouse, talking to them about how he was actually doing a case where he was saying that Boeing had retaliated against him as a whistleblower.
Oh.
So he was suing Boeing, saying they had not given him promotions, had like put him in this shitty role, a whole bunch of other stuff, and that had been forced to retire 10 years earlier.
Oh.
So they owed him like the wages for that, and he had like PTSD from the entire experience.
Jesus. That's really quite saying something.
I know. And here's the thing. When he came out, this was not exactly like he was alone. So I really don't think that this is a guy who was just like vindictive. Like he's like a super big, like Boeing is his life.
Yeah.
He had apparently, he's a cute guy. He grew up the youngest of 4 brothers, raised by a loving and firm mother in Louisiana. He then moved to Seattle, where he lived for 25 of his 32 years working at Boeing. So he was like lifer there.
Yeah.
He worked at the Everett plant that produced the 747, 767, and 777. He used to ride stock cars. Yeah. So sweet. He was nicknamed Swamp Dog by his racing buddies. So he's just like this little Cajun dude. Yeah. Apparently he had an alligator jaws tattoo on his right upper torso, like this big like mustache and goatee, and was just like kind of like a real like rednecky kind of guy. Mm-hmm. It was called the Funkle. He married Diane Johnson, who was his best friend, who he had met at Boeing.
Wow.
They worked together there and she was the top liaison with the FAA. She apparently died of brain cancer 18 months, like after or something like that. So sad.
Yeah.
But people quoted him as being the most decent person you could imagine. He was constantly doing things for people. He never met a stranger. So he seems like a legit dude, like just wants to be doing his job correctly and like cared about his job, cared about the quality of what he was doing. God forbid. That was mistake number 1, you idiot.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So then
you simply can't care about your job.
You simply cannot care about your job. And it's not like he was the only one who was kind of speaking out a little bit against Boeing. They were having the issues with those planes that had fucking killed a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. And then Al Jazeera went and did this interview where they would like find a bunch of engineers at Boeing and interview them about they asked them if you would fly in this plane or not. Anonymously, so you don't know who it is, but here's what they said.
Would you fly on one? No. You won't fly on one. Would you fly on one of these planes? Would you fly on one of these
Would you fly on one of these motherfuckers?
Probably not.
Would you fly on one of these?
Yeah, it's sketchy.
Sketchy?
Yeah, I probably would, but I mean, I'm happy that dude.
Holy crap.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that didn't go over well either. But needless to say, it's not like he came out of left field and was like complaining to like the void. Like he like other people were also saying like there's something wrong with our manufacturing process. So he goes through, he does his whistleblowing, and then he said that it was Boeing had violated the Department of Labor's statute stipulating that it's unlawful to retaliate against a whistleblower. I already talked about how he sabotaged his career. What did he want? He was looking for compensation for the 10 years as well as other, compensation for the PTSD and panic attacks and all the different things that he had.
Wow.
So, but realistically, it doesn't sound like he was going after a shit ton of money.
How much money was he going? Do we know?
It does. I don't know, but let's think about realistically. Let's call it 50 million. That's being generous, which for Boeing is
nothing.
It's money. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that much.
Yeah.
So he was in the process of testifying. And apparently the previous day, he had been going through 2 days of the testifying, and it was really, really extensive. It was 4 hours, 7 hours of cross-examination between him and the lawyers. He was really happy, I guess, to be going through this. The quote was, he was really happy to be telling his side of the story, excited to be fielding our questions, doing a great job. It was explosive stuff. As I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, this is the best witness I've ever seen.
Wow.
At one point, even the lawyers were saying, hey, you're reciting details of this incident from a decade ago with specific dates without looking at any of these documents. And he even told him back, I know these documents inside and out. I've had to live it.
Whoa.
So the guy was really committed to this case. He was excited to be there. He was excited to be testifying. There was no reason to think he would be suicidal or anything like that. He even, there is a video of this. I didn't pull it up. Just there's already been a lot of videos where he is talking to a family friend and she goes and does an interview later on where he specifically told her, if I die, she asked, are you scared at all? Because obviously you're going against this massive corporation. And he goes, not really, but if I die, just know it wasn't suicide.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right?
That's crazy.
So on March 9th, he's in the middle of testifying. Saturday, it's Friday night. He wants to take a break. They say, hey, let's just do one more day. So he stays one additional day into Saturday. Shortly after 10 a.m., Turkowitz called the Holiday Inn and said that he hadn't shown up to court yet. And they were like, oh, he's probably running late. Apparently there had been big rainstorms or something like that.
Okay.
They asked the Holiday Inn if he'd checked out. They said no. I asked to be put through to the room and the phone just kept ringing. So I asked that they check the room. The Holiday Inn folks said his stuff's packed up, but he's not there. They asked him to look around for his car, told him what kind of car it was. The manager came back and told him his truck is there. We called EMS. I can't tell you anything more. First of all, Holiday Inn staffer, care about your job quite a bit there, man. Now all of a sudden you're all the privacy and shit like that.
Yeah. And it was a gunshot wound, correct?
Mm-hmm. So they called him back. They all show up. They go blah, blah, blah. Everyone is, trying to figure out if he's alive or not. They get to the Holiday Inn and there were emergency vehicles everywhere. John's truck was blocked from view by the emergency vehicles. They were trying to keep all the lawyers away. And he was found apparently in this car with a silver pistol still in his hand, his finger on the trigger. And they ruled the cause of death as a self-inflicted wound. And apparently they found a white piece of paper resembling a note on the passenger seats. The contents of that note have not been disclosed yet.
Okay. Well, here's my question. Wouldn't there be CCTV footage from that parking lot? You know what I mean?
It's a Holiday Inn. Who knows? And it's not, I don't know actually where it was. I think it was in North Charleston. It's not in New York.
Right.
You know what I mean? So maybe, but very well could be there wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, because that would obviously solve it if somebody's
Totally. Oh, I'm sure. And that's the thing is a lot of this is still being investigated, but right now they are saying it was suicide. Damn. But they also announced it immediately, which is super suspicious. And they also, the lawyers were the lawyer at this point has been known this guy for 7 years. He's good friends with him. And he was in a good mood the night before. He was really looking forward to testifying on Saturday.
So weird.
We didn't see any indication that he would take his own life.
Do we know what the contents of what he was about to say on Saturday would have been?
No, it didn't have as much detail as that, or maybe it is somewhere, but I wasn't able to find it. Wow. So I'm not sure what the question line was going to be the next day. I do know that the next day, the U.S. Department of Justice announced a criminal investigation into Boeing for the aircraft, for basically negligence.
Yeah.
But a criminal investigation implies individuals being held responsible.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure they had an awareness that this was about to come out, and maybe it was a little bit more helpful for a guy who was about to go on the record about their negligence, because that means individuals might be going to jail.
Oh, they're going to jail.
They're going to jail.
Somebody's
but now,
going to jail.
now they might be going to jail less time because
They don't have what he was
they
about
don't
to say.
have the big witness.
Damn, that's crazy.
Isn't this crazy? Like I think they killed him.
I don't know how, but I think they did.
I mean, I think they just hired an assassin. Also, it's super helpful that there was that massive rainstorm the night before.
Yeah.
Super convenient.
Yeah.
You know?
Washing away a bunch of DNA evidence, maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
this is like straight out of, this has to be a movie.
Yeah. I think it will be.
Pretty crazy. So anyway, that's what I've got on Boeing right now. Yeah. Pretty dark stuff.
That is crazy.
I guess I should have given that a trigger warning.
Well, people have seen it in the news.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, we'll throw it in the description.
Yeah. All good.
All right. What's your story?
So I have a little bit more of a lighthearted one. It's more just people being pains in the ass. So there is a trio of climate change protesters that disrupted the Broadway preview of An Enemy of the People on Thursday night. Okay. And a lot of people thought that it was a scripted moment because the play is about like Jeremy Strong's character. Jeremy Strong is the guy from Succession.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I saw an ad for that. I was like, oh, I should go check that out. It looks pretty good.
What's his name in it? Kendall.
Yes.
He's Kendall in Succession.
Love that show.
But the play is about, he's alerting fellow citizens to, in this little town that he's in, about a deadly bacteria that's contaminating their spa water.
Yeah.
So that's like what the play is about. So everyone was like, oh, this is probably just part of some weird climate change thing
Involved in the play.
Yeah, exactly. And it
like
was
breaking the fourth wall kind of scenario in the play.
Yeah.
How pissed must the fucking protesters have been? Like, no, like,
yeah.
No, seriously.
No, you guys need to listen to us.
We're actually really mad in the real world and in the play world.
Yeah. He says there's no Broadway on a dead planet is what their thing was on their X account, which was Extinction Rebellion NYC. If you're a part of Extinction Rebellion NYC, you must be absolutely intolerable.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I love the climate. Hey, good environment. I want a good environment, but I also don't want to be like throwing fucking Campbell's tomato soup on paintings and being like, I'm a good person.
Here's what. Why are all of the ways they protest so stupid? It's always like slashing an old painting or throwing a can of soup or jumping into Jeremy Strong's like monologue and stuff like that. Maybe go and deal with the lobbyists in DC.
Yeah, it's always
Why are you
shit.
here? Why are you on Broadway? They're not involved.
They're not involved. And actually the play is kind of on your team.
So maybe you're pissing off the wrong people. I don't know.
So Michael Imperioli is he plays Stockman's brother. So whatever, Jeremy Strong's brother or whatever. And he basically was like, yo, you guys got to get out of here. You're interrupting or whatever. And he pushed them out, which is really
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's kind of exciting.
It is kind of exciting. Yeah, pretty crazy. And he tweeted something to the effect of like, we're on your team, but you got to leave our fucking production. This is really annoying.
Yeah, seriously. Though it is honestly great press.
Yeah. And police, they came to the scene, but they actually didn't make any arrests.
Oh, that's nice.
So I would go see that if you would go see that with me.
I'll go see that with you.
That
Wow, good for them.
Yeah.
They thought it was a bad thing that happened and they just sold 2 more tickets.
Yeah, look at that.
Good for you, Jeremy Strong.
Pretty cool.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
I like him.
So one of the people, there was like people in the audience that would stand up and just start screaming that were, I guess, protesting or whatever. And one of the people, this guy, Kyle Butler, he stood up and he said, no theater on a dead planet. And then he said, governments have failed us. They will do anything to stop you from learning the truth. It's my favorite thing in the world when the extreme left and the extreme right have the exact same talking point.
Yeah, that is really like, who said
Republican.
it first?
Yeah. But I mean,
the government's lying to us, man.
Yeah.
You're like, are you storming the Capitol?
Right.
Or
yeah,
Broadway?
Feels like you might have been there.
Yeah, maybe you should take this to the Capitol and forcibly enter. I am not condoning storming the Capitol. Yeah. Wow, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for this episode.
I guess so.
Legally.
Yeah, so specifically Imperioli said on an Instagram post, tonight was wild, no hard feelings, Extinction Rebellion crew. Michael's on your side, but Mayor Stockham is not. Much love.
All right.
So,
Well, I'm glad that no one got hurt.
no, it's
No
foolish.
whistleblowers died in this one.
Well, it's also like fashion shows when they come up and they'll like put red paint on people's fur or whatever.
yeah.
And it's like, well, the animal's already dead. Now you ruined their fur.
Yeah, that's
Now
rude.
it died for no reason.
That's rude, and it's rude.
Yeah, that's why I eat meat. It's already fucking dead. Just gonna eat it.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know that there's like these kind of stances are interesting to me because I'm like, I wonder if like from other activists they get shit because they're like, you're still on this climate change thing. Like I'm talking about Palestine now. And like there's always one that's the most in the news at any given time, obviously. So I don't know. It is kind of interesting.
I want to know what their like logic is behind these because it kind of feels like one of those things where this is, if from the outside, it seems like it's not going to work and an ineffectual method.
Yeah.
I guess we are talking about it right now. But
I don't
it
even know what
mostly
they
irritates.
want.
I support them. I also think we should prevent climate change. But for some reason, when I hear this, I'm like, you're so annoying.
I just hate any sort of cause like this that I'm like, but what is the thing that you're asking for? Are you specific and be specific.
Right.
Like, I need to know what you're asking for. I actually saw
Clear call to action. That's the salespeople right here. We're like, what do you want for next steps? Can you please summarize it in a follow-up email?
And can you sign on the dotted line by March 30th? I will give you a discount. I will give you a 10% discount.
Send you a DocuSign.
I remember during Burning Man, famously, there was climate change activists that like blocked off the road to get into Burning Man. Do you remember this?
I do not remember this.
Oh my God, it was crazy. And then it was like, you are terrorizing people going to Burning Man?
Yeah.
Like, they're on your team, dude.
It's very confused people. You are really just mixed up. I think you just want to hang out with the Burning Man people.
They just wanted to hang. And they were, like, forcibly removed off. Like, eventually, the, like, native police came and just, like, ripped them
That's amazing.
to shreds.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Damn.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. You got another one? Or should I get into Donnie and Elon?
Well, how about this? I have one tiny little one. So we were talking about some bad bosses there. This lady had a very bad boss. This comes from Reddit. This woman woke up in shock when her boss was sitting at the end of her bed after calling in sick.
What?
Yeah. I mean, that's that. Apparently she had written in and been like, I'm not coming in. And he was like, oh, maybe you just don't want to drive and I can drive you and that way you can still work.
No, I said I was sick. That's the...
Also,
No.
you're in my home.
Why are you in my home?
Bed. It is a Reddit story, so like who knows if it's true or not. But
It's true. I like it.
I like it a lot,
Yeah.
so I'm going to say it's true. And it also went super viral because everyone was like, dude, fucking quit. Also, I don't know what law that violates. I think breaking and entering.
Breaking and entering, yeah.
Yeah, but also
Stalking, maybe a
I
little
guess
bit.
the Department of Labor should also be. You're contacting multiple departments at this point.
Yes.
You have a couple different types of cases on your hands.
So wait, so what was the job? Like...
I don't really have much more detail than that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
That is so fucking wild.
Woman.
Or was he like trying to prove that she wasn't that sick and was like, I see you
I
sleeping
guess.
peacefully and being hungover?
I mean, I think the reality is this is just like a massive fucking creep that ended up being her boss.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it was an image, so like there's not that much detail.
Okay.
Always.
Well, that's really fun.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So you guys might have heard, Mark actually told me this story, that Don Lemon has been fired from working with Elon Musk and X. He was supposed to do like a talk show on it style situation. Like I think Tucker Carlson does something similar to that on X.
Yes, but I think they also had some sort of issue, like a falling out as well.
I'm sure they did.
But I think he's still on it. But that's the problem, is that Elon keeps alienating these. Put politics aside, right? Like creator politics or whatever the hell. If you're a creator and you're going to come on and do like an exclusive, deal with this organization, if you just have an argument with a guy and he just starts canceling your deal, new creators aren't going to want to do that because that's just financially risky.
Right.
It'd be like if Spotify and Joe Rogan had a fight and then they
Yeah.
just pulled Joe Rogan off.
Right.
And you'd be like, okay, well, we have a contract.
Well,
and like there's like legitimate money involved here.
so apparently what Lemon was asking for in his contract was, this is all alleged, by the way, because I saw on CNN he denies having any of this
Okay.
as part of his contract. And then on the Post, it was like, this was in the contract.
New York Post.
So I'm like,
They're like, print it.
yeah, totally.
Put it in the Post.
So basically he sent Elon this crazy wish list. He was like, if you want me to work on X, this is what I need. He goes, I need a free Tesla Cybertruck. Okay. I need a $5 million upfront payment and an $8 million salary in addition to the $5 million upfront payment, an equity stake in X, and also the right to approve any changes in X's policy as it relates to news content.
That is a lot of asks.
That's a lot of asks.
I will give him that. That is a lot of asks.
Also, he demanded a private jet. A private jet flight, just one. A suite for him and his fiance, and the company to pay for day drinking and massages, which is like, okay, who cares?
Okay, that doesn't feel like it needs to be involved.
Right, like whatever.
I don't know. $1,000, like you're fine.
Yeah.
The private jet's more, but whatever. It's more. Anyway,
I guess they did not have a final signed agreement together, but they were doing the sit down where he was interviewing Musk. Okay.
Oh,
do you know this?
No, I've only seen like highlights, like
Yeah.
some stuff on Twitter, but I haven't actually. I've been meaning to look into it. So what happened on this sit
So
down?
basically, he sat down and like Don Lemon, I have to say, I mean, love him or hate him, left or right, whatever. Like, he is not smart. He's not a smart guy. I think he's
Clearly, look at the situation he's in right now.
but like he was propped up by CNN for so many years. But then when you get him to actually talk on his own, it's like, whoa, you're genuinely just like not smart. Like, remember he said that thing about Nikki Haley not being in her prime because he Googled when women were in their. I cannot get over that.
It was pretty bad.
That is like so slow. That way of thinking is so literal and just.
Maybe your like racist uncle might say something like that,
Right.
and you'd be like, okay, like.
But prime for being it's like we cannot be president until we're 35. You understand that,
What are
right? Like
you
no American can be president until they're 35.
Also, just
Like,
because you're having, wasn't it like related to like when women can have kids?
yes, of course. But like literally, he was like, if you Google when women are in their prime, it says like 21, and I'm like, you can't be president at 21. You want a fucking 21-year-old president? Are you kidding me?
The definition of prime for him is purely around. He's a real paternal man.
Yeah.
He's just really focused on the family.
No, he's a complete idiot. So it was just a really tense. I mean, a lot of interviews with Elon are super tense, where he was just like asking him about like.
I mean, just watching him talk makes me uncomfortable on any subject. It could be him
insane.
describing his breakfast. I'd be like, ugh,
Yeah.
spit it out. What are you saying?
So he just was kind of like hammering him on a bunch of stuff. Apparently, like sometime recently in Florida, him and Trump were in the same room, and he was like, "Is that proof that you endorsed him? Is that proof that you gave him money?" And he's like, "I never gave him any money. I had a breakfast, and Trump was there. That's all I knew, or whatever." Which I mean,
the Ramada has a great breakfast. we were both there.
Mar-a-Lago, ever heard of it? It was basically like an hour and a half of Don just berating Elon, being like, what do you think about, this controversy you've been in, like this, and then whatever. And then Elon would just be like, I don't give a fuck about any of that, to be honest with you.
Was it live? Like, was it on Spaces or whatever? I bet it was.
know. I'm not sure. Yeah, but he was also asking him about, he was like, are you fit to run companies because you take ketamine? And he
Dude,
was
that
like,
keeps coming up.
yeah, and he was like, but I'm prescribed ketamine.
Right.
So, and I don't know anything about ketamine, but it seems like it really helps people.
It's one of those things. I'm kind of surprised that he's on it that frequently, because I think
Yeah.
I've talked about it on the pod before. I've done like the ketamine therapy like individual series, and I found it to be very helpful. If you have more questions on that, let me know. I'm happy to talk about it. But it was something that I did for like a 2 or 3 week period, like that, and then it was done. I haven't heard of anyone being on long-standing doses. I read a little bit about what he was saying, and he says he takes it every few weeks to stave off depression, which he says is genetic, and that it wouldn't impact his work, and that also his work is clearly going very well, because look how much money Tesla has, which, sure. But that's another conversation. But point being, it doesn't really feel like, this kind of feels like they're going after just anything they can see what sticks.
Right. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like Don almost was like, oh, well, Elon would appreciate like a fiery back and forth to get views or whatever. It completely backfired. Hours after they wrapped taping, which I don't know if it's live yet. I think it might be live. But
it might have been on Spaces and like also taped or something like that. Spaces is like the live chat, or I don't know, how would you describe it?
I
Like
don't know.
like everybody has like their audio and it's like streaming on to X, so you can listen into it. It is famously technically glitchy though. It always goes down. They tried to do like Tucker Carlson on it, and it like failed the whole time.
Yeah.
The thing just broke.
People are so I'll play a little clip from it here, but yeah, so I guess it launched on YouTube if you want to give it a if you want to give it a whirl.
I think I will.
But
I think I will give that a watch.
Yeah, why not? But anyway, so a few hours later, Elon called him and was like, I don't know if Elon specifically, but somebody called him and was like, yo, you're fired.
That is wild.
Hate speech on the platform is up. Do you believe that X and you have some responsibility to moderate hate speech on the platform? That you wouldn't have to answer these questions from reporters about the Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Democrats? I don't have to answer these questions. The Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Jewish people. Do you think that?
I don't have to answer questions from reporters. Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think? Do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble, or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm criticized constantly. I could care less.
Like,
as someone,
what a strange line of questioning. So he was asking him if Elon would be unwilling to answer questions about this because he'd be scared to get in trouble, and Elon was like, "What?
Scared to get in trouble? Are you serious?"
That was I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
The layers. That's a bad question, Don Lemon. I'll say it. That was not a really good question. He's
not a good interviewer.
That was a bad question.
Yeah.
Elon was like, I'm fucking sick of this.
I know. I wonder if he obviously they didn't sign on the dotted line, but he's probably getting some money out of this situation.
I can't imagine he has no like legal team who has some sort of. Yeah.
What was he outed for at CNN again?
I think it was something sexual.
Was it? I'm gonna look
God,
it up
we
real quick.
did a whole episode on this.
I know. I'm like
Jesus
such
Christ.
an idiot.
I know, me too.
Why did Don Lemon get fired? CNN. Let's check it out. I just delete things. There was allegations that he mistreated his female colleagues. I remember this. Yes.
That's right.
Oh yeah, he's like a kind of a misogynist.
I think the women in their prime kind of leans in that direction.
It does.
Yeah, so the Nikki Haley comments were obviously bad, and then I guess he just really ripped into a whole bunch of other people.
I think
his direct colleagues.
I remember seeing text messages that were like abusive from him.
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
Damn. So he doesn't get in trouble like legally or anything. He just got fired because he was being an asshole to everyone.
Yeah,
essentially, that's like what you can kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shake it all down to.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick to your coworkers.
Did you watch the morning show?
Oh, yeah. I'm not caught up. I'm not done with the last season.
It's very good.
I really enjoy that show.
Me
it's
too.
Unfortunately on Apple TV, so no one has seen it.
No, I know. I can't talk to anybody about it because no one's seen it.
No one has Apple TV. Everyone's like, who? What? It's got some good programming.
Very good.
I really enjoy it. Go watch the morning show. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. Do you got another story?
I don't have another story.
Oh, that's it.
That's it, guys.
Oh my God, that was such a quick one.
Was it? 50 minutes?
Yeah, I guess it's not that quick. You guys,
I ranted about Boeing for like a while.
Yeah.
Remember that?
You know where to find us, Risky Business News on Instagram. Please give us a follow. Also on YouTube, please like and subscribe. That helps us a lot. So
it really does.
Do that.
Leave a little comment. Tell us how we look. Tell us what you thought of the story.
Tell us
how your day is.
Bad my under eye bags are.
Oh,
go
mine
nuts.
too.
Do whatever you want to do.
Tell us what you did yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Tell us what you ate for breakfast. You can find me at May_Planert. And also, I am doing my first live taping April 17th at Grove 34 in Queens, New York. There's a 7 p.m. and a 9 p.m. Please buy tickets. Please tell your friends. For the love of God.
Come the fuck through.
Yeah.
You can also find me at Laura Sogar. I'm performing all over the city, sometimes the country. Actually, yeah, I will be in Austin doing some shows, and then I'll be in LA.
Hell yeah.
If you're in those places, come see me. And but mostly follow the pod, give us a good review, and thank you so much for your support. Don't fly
Bye-bye.
Boeing. All right, bye.